Good afternoon, friends of Floodgate. As many of you know, Floodgate recently started Floodgate Futures, which is a business unit really built around supporting individual job seekers. So today I have asked an old friend of ours, Fred Taft, to come on and share a little bit about his experience going through the Futures program and most recently going through the Floodgate Futures Job Search Bootcamp. So Fred, could you share just a little bit about yourself to those who are listening in today?
Sure, Heidi. I'm Fred Taft, and I've been in the wound care arena for probably 20 plus years, most of it in leadership roles, sales leadership roles. So, as Heidi said, I've had the pleasure of working with Floodgate. I really enjoy building successful sales teams and mentoring, as well as developing successful sales reps.
I know you found yourself in this situation like so many other successful businessmen and women. You've been tapped on your shoulder, and I know for you, you're not a job hopper. So this was I'm sure just a very odd experience for you.
Yes, when you do get tapped on the shoulder and say that your job has been eliminated, it was the first time happening for me. So it was a real shock.
Yeah.
After the shock wore off, I realized that I needed to get myself together, get a plan in place, execute the plan, and get back,
Mhm.
in a working environment again with something that I
Mhm.
really wanted to do.
For you, what was that time like when you were kind of doing it on your own, which I don't think for you was very long at all,
No.
to when you actually decided, okay, I'm gonna go with Floodgate and their program.
Well, actually, I right out of the gate, I picked up the phone and I called Joe McClung, and Joe and I have a great relationship. And he suggested and told me about the Futures program, and I thought about it for all of about 2 minutes, and I then spoke to his wife, and we got signed up,
Mhm.
and away we went because I needed a plan, and this is the
Yeah.
first time that I've ever done it, and I really needed to know what was out there because just sending out applications, I know from my experience, very few of those get to the right people.
And time is money, for those of you who are listening and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to kind of hedge my bets and do it on my own and then maybe try to get help down the road if things fall apart. Fred's kind of the perfect poster boy for stepping into action ahead of time. How would you describe kind of what we went through in the boot camp versus what someone might be doing if they were doing it kind of on their own?
Well, the boot camp prepares you to spend your time wisely and get to the people who can really help you. I knew I networked, but never knew the real power of networking. I never really understood how powerful a tool LinkedIn is
Mhm.
to connect with the right people and find the right opportunities and the hidden opportunities that are out there. Um, it gave me a plan to execute and a repeatable plan that I
Mhm.
could get up every morning and do, and I felt good about it because I was making progress. Whereas if you do it in a DIY situation, all you're really doing is you're getting up and it's a very scattershot approach, and
Mhm.
you're not guaranteed of any results like I had through the Futures program.
Mhm. And so, Fred, I know you experienced and still are experiencing a lot of great activity. I won't steal your thunder.
Mhm.
When did you start seeing the results, after putting that time and effort in?
Probably about, I would say, maybe a week to 10 days after I
Mhm.
really had a full week of reaching out and networking and using LinkedIn. People started getting back to me. I had some great conversations. Everybody was extremely helpful. From
Mhm.
there, it was, if they couldn't help me, they passed me on to someone who could, or they gave me
Mhm.
names of places or companies. And it really started to snowball from there. So I would say probably, a week to 10 days into the program, and I was already seeing, tangible results.
So for the person that's listening that's maybe skeptical and thinking, I know how to network, I've been in the industry for 20 years and I know how to network. There's kind of an art and science to networking.
Hmm.
So what would you say to that skeptical person that's saying, I already know how to do this?
Well, they may think they know how, but
Mhm.
the only way you really know that you know how is to get results and
Mhm.
also getting to the right people. the tools that you give through the Futures program is tools that are so valuable in the fact that it teaches you how to do it the right way and
Mhm.
not a scattershot approach. So people can think that they can network and they can know people, but it's what you get once you contact that person.
That's a very wise comment, right? It's like the proof's in the pudding. What advice would you have for job seekers as we wrap this up?
Well, there's a lot of jobs out there, and not just the published jobs. I found some opportunities, and I'm working on opportunities right now that were never published through
Mhm.
networking. And networking is extremely powerful if done the right way. Program like this that gives you the foundation, gives you the plan. Anybody who succeeds in anything has to have a
Mhm.
plan. It has to be repeatable, and it has to be able to execute it on over
Mhm.
and over again.
Yeah, well said. So again, just for context, for those of you listening, Fred's a very high level executive, national sales director, been with big, Fortune 500 companies. A typical job search for someone at his level on average is 6 to 9 months.
Hmm.
And Fred, when he, committed to doing this program, that was what, 6 weeks ago, Fred,
Yeah.
maybe 7 weeks
Hmm.
ago. Would you just share kind of high level, just a brief description of the activity and kind of where you are right now with your job search?
Yes, I've had four, interviews. In fact, very soon here, I'm going to have my last final interview with one opportunity that I really want a lot. I will just say, and there's others that have come up within the past 2 or 3 days that are also very viable opportunities. And it's only been, to your point, Heidi, 6 weeks, and it's
Mhm.
well below that. And my goal was very aggressive to be by the end of August to have a new position. So
Yeah.
I've got a great chance to meet that goal.
Well, Fred is really a great example of someone who committed to the outcome, right? When you commit to the outcome and you follow the plan and then you execute it on your own,
Mhm.
you really will get the results that you're after. And so Fred's, results are very typical of someone that goes through the Floodgate Futures program. Getting those interviews and then ultimately getting those offers are a realistic expectation. So couldn't be happier for your results you're already getting, Fred. And if you're watching this and you're a senior level executive, CEO, VP in the wound care space, or even in a peripheral space, ping Fred. He's looking for his next awesome. Although I don't think he will be available much longer.
Hopefully.
Sounds like he's about to get scooped up. But thanks for joining me today, Fred. Just wish you all the best, and just looking forward to staying in touch with you.
Well, thank you, Heidi. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.